In the past 7 years, the term dark money has become part of our elections. It's called dark money because we don't know where it comes from all the time. More on this trend from our Kate Flexter. Kate?
Well, Ray, we used to see dark money mostly in federal elections, but now more and more we're seeing those donations play a role on the state and local level.
Joe Gruters is now the GOP nominee for the Florida House District 73. But more than a month after winning the Republican primary, what still bothers him
I'd love to find out who spent the money so I can kick them in the shins.
is who donated tens of thousands of dollars to his rival, Steve Vernon, in the final days before the primary.
And today, I still don't know who did it. And every time I try to come close on trying to figure out who it was, everybody points their finger at everybody else.
It's just one example of a growing trend known as dark money, a trend that started with the Citizens United Supreme Court decision of 2010 that famously recognized corporations as people and changed the rules for political action committees, allowing them to make large donations to candidates from undisclosed donors in federal races for president, U.S. Senate, and the House. But now soft money, as it's often called, is flowing into local campaigns, from the school board to the state house.
It's a major problem with the system. You know, I'm all for free speech. I'm all for really almost unlimited campaign spending. But I think the system has to be transparent, and I think it has to be open so people know where it's coming from.
The question, though, is why? For some answers, we spoke to Keith Fitzgerald, who teaches political science at New College.
How big of a role does dark money play in local politics?
Well, a lot. Part of the problem is that the rules are so complex. It's not just that the money is hidden, it's that even people in journalism don't necessarily know how to find out what's going on if the information is available.
If you take a look at dark money over the years, how have you seen it change? Has there been an increase in dark money?
It is very hard to quantify, so I can't give you a figure, but it's way up.
And how does having dark money in elections kind of complicate races?
It adds a sense of unfairness to the whole process, and it creates imbalances in the resources that people have that can be determinative of the outcome of the election. So it's a big deal.
Even Susan Nylon, who runs a progressive political action committee in Sarasota, is against dark money.
I would like to see it go away, but just because I'm operating this PAC doesn't mean that I support the ideology behind it, and doesn't mean I won't support getting rid of this idea.
She says it's a process that keeps voters from knowing who a candidate might be beholden to.
You don't understand the influence that that money has over the candidate. We've seen for many years candidates that make votes because the people that are funding their campaign, they've promised to make those votes or to introduce those bills.
But she says now it's become necessary in order to play on the same level as competitors.
You may not like the way the system is, but you're losing if you ignore it or you stand on the sidelines with your principles.
But Fitzgerald says losing those principles is the risk. And what stands to be lost if this continues is what our country is built upon: democracy.
The whole value of democracy is you have an open competition of the best ideas in the public sphere. When you start having these super secret hidden conversations, you don't get the value of democracy anymore. It's something different.
Whether we're talking about federal, state, or local elections, each year since 2010, we've seen an increase in the amount of dark money.
All right, thank you, Kate.